So today's session, we're looking at your perfect marketing tech stack, or what we're looking at is an overview of the different types of tech you might like to have in your business to help streamline your marketing processes. So first of all, I want to address what some of the common challenges are for busy business owners as yourself when it comes to marketing. So first of all, a lot of people struggle with having enough time to truly dedicate enough time to their marketing efforts, whether that is in learning what to do, creating the content, actually posting the content, if they're wanting to do videos, record that kind of stuff, track it. You know, it's quite a lengthy and involved process in its own right. So there is this issue with having a lack of time, especially if you are stuck doing the day-to-day, daily workings in your business. You know, if you're handling clients' day-to-day work, you're doing bookkeeping, you're doing those kind of inquiries and things that come in under day-to-day. If you're so busy with doing all of that stuff that you don't have the time to dedicate to your marketing, then that is an issue. We want to treat your business as if it were another client. So there are some people, I think it's Jessica Fox in the Academy, and she talks about she treats her business as a client and schedules that allocated time in her working calendar to work specifically on her business, and that will incorporate things like marketing and growing her business and all that sort of stuff. So we want to be able to do that and put that time into our calendar to do so. There are other ways, of course, as well, that we can boost that time that we can dedicate to marketing. First of all, we would look at our pricing. So that's something we teach a lot in the Academy, is how to adjust our pricing, because if you're pricing too low and you have too many clients to try and get the profits higher, but your prices are too low, then you're just going to end up working more and more and more with not very much extra profits. If you can boost your profits and take on less clients and still have the same income, that frees up more time for you to do marketing on your business, as well as other things like delivering more value to your clients, offering more business advisory opportunities and things like that for your clients. So lack of time is a big one. Even if you do manage to find the time, it may be that you then don't really have the confidence or the knowledge to then be able to implement an effective marketing strategy. So you may be struggling for time, you may not know what to do, and therefore you're quite overwhelmed, and you get to a point where you just don't know where to start. I don't know what kind of content to make, I don't know which platforms to post on, I don't know how often to post, when to post, what times of day, how frequently should I be posting, should I be posting videos or images? Like, there's just so much to think about that it can just be overwhelming and you never end up getting started. So that's another common problem. Another issue is that we don't have systems for our marketing strategies. Now, a lot of people understand so that referrals and word of mouth are one of the most powerful forms of marketing out there. But then when we ask people, okay, well, do you have a system for that? A lot of people say no, they don't have any kind of system. They just hope and pray that people will come forward with referrals for them. So you need to be making sure that you have systems in place for your marketing strategies, for things like referrals, for generating leads and bringing leads into your business, for putting content out there to increase brand awareness. You need to have systems in place. When you don't have systems, you can bounce around from job to job. It can be quite chaotic. There's not a systematic approach, then the workflow is staggered, and it can just mean that your efforts are not streamlined as they could be. If you've got multiple people working on the job and one person has to pass it to somebody else and then wait, and that's putting a pause in the job as well. You know, we just want to make sure that we have systems in place to make sure that everything is working effectively and smoothly. And then another issue that we have is that sometimes you are getting your content out there, but you don't actually really have any idea of how well it's working, because we don't have a clear tracking system. So we're unclear on the return of investment. And that's in terms of time, in terms of money, if you're doing paid ads. We're unclear on how well things are working, what platforms are best for us, what types of content are bringing in the most people, and where the bottlenecks are in our marketing systems. We're unaware of that, and we can't make changes to tweak and improve that because we haven't got a good tracking system. So tracking is also a really vital part of your marketing, and a lot of marketing is to do it. A lot of the way we approach marketing is we set up systems, we just set them up, get them going, and then we watch how they perform, and then we make small minor tweaks to different elements of that system over a long period of time to try and boost and improve that system. But we want to have the system in place first. Okay, so all of these common challenges can generally lead to a sense of inconsistency with our marketing strategies. And when you have an inconsistent marketing strategy, it's very difficult for it to take off and to perform well. A lot of marketing relies a lot on being consistent, being frequent, being regular in the content that you're putting out there and the other strategies that you use. We want to have consistency, okay? So that's something that's really important. So those are some of the common challenges. Let's now look at, what we're going to look at today is a series of different tools that we can bring into our business to help streamline some of these marketing strategies and systems so that we've got these automated systems in there, and it takes some of the burden off of that marketing process. It reduces the overwhelm. It takes some of the manual labor time off of us just by having these tools in there. So we're going to look at a series of different tools. So first of all, we have a website and page builder. So we know that having a website is really important for all businesses in this day of online, day and age of online business. Your website represents the quality of your business. It's kind of like your packaging. When you get a product from Apple, it's packaged really beautifully, so you kind of get this sense that the quality of the product is really, really good. Our website is our packaging. So when you have a really nice, well-designed, clean, clear website, it gives this sense of the quality of your service. If it's a bit of a, cheaply put together one with kind of cartoony images and stuff that just doesn't look very professional, that can set an idea of what the quality of the service is as well. So we want to make sure that we have a great website, and we also want to make sure that we have a tool that can help us build independent pages as well, so a page builder tool. So the page builder is slightly separate. It's slightly different. You can often get tools that will build both a website and an independent landing page for you. And we're going to look at tools that have kind of holistic approaches to things where it has lots of different elements to it as well. But you want to have a tool that can build a website, and you also want to have a tool that can build a lead page, because what we're going to look at is a system that will help you bring in those leads by using one of these standalone independent web pages. So having a landing page is great for bringing leads in. The only function of that lead page is to bring in the leads, which is why it sits separate to your website. Okay, so those are two things that we want to consider having. A couple of examples of website builders. We have WordPress, Squarespace, and Wix. Now there are tons of them out there, and there are a lot of software that have a website feature and also do other things as well. We have page builders, we have lead pages and ClickFunnels. There's hundreds for that one that you can go and look and see which one is appropriate for your business. We can find tools that will do both, and we'll look at some of those as well. So the next kind of tool that we want to have is our CRM, or email marketing system. So CRM is customer relations management tool. And we want email marketing. So this is useful for both leads and marketing, but also for communicating with your clients that you have as well. But today we're looking at marketing. So we know that email is actually king when it comes to marketing, and email can sometimes be a lot more powerful than social media marketing. When you post things on social media, you are at the mercy of the algorithms that are at work on that social media platform. So just for example, with Facebook, I know that in Facebook groups, if you join a group and there's a lot of people in there posting a lot of things, and there's maybe 20 posts in a day, you might only see 4 of them because of the algorithms that work against you. If somebody logs into Facebook and they're scrolling along their timeline, they might not get to your content, or they might skim over your content and not really engage with it. So basically with social media, you can be at the mercy of the algorithms that tend to sometimes work against you. Whereas with email, you've got a much more secure avenue of reaching your clients. Now, again, your leads even. Now, again, there is still the issue that people might not open those emails. They might not engage with them, but that's a whole other subject of how to get them to open your emails by using great subject lines and consistent value and stuff. Okay, so that's a whole other subject. But we do want to have a tool that helps automate that process so that we can have automatic emails that go out to people as they engage with our business. So we're going to look at a lead generation system briefly, which means when somebody signs up for our lead magnet, they automatically receive emails. You want there to be a process where when they book an appointment with you, they automatically get those emails. We don't want to be manually sending those every time because it's a big time drain for us, and it's not necessary when there are tools that do that automatically for us, okay? So email marketing is a way to deliver value to your leads as well. It's a way to grow a relationship with them by building on a know, like, and trust factor. It's a way of getting them to build that trust in you to a point where they are ready to make a buying decision. And it's also going to be very useful for communicating with your current clients as well. So a couple of different examples then of email marketing. Again, there are tons of them out there. We have HubSpot, Pipedrive, Zoho, CRM. We have MailChimp, which is the one that we use, ConvertKit, and ActiveCampaign. So a lot of these tools will do multiple things. Again, you just want to have a look and see which one is appropriate for your business. I'm going to show you as well later on, if we get time, I'm going to show you a way that you can do some quick research on all of these different tools and find the best tools for you as well using ChatGPT. So next we have forms and lead capture. So this is an important part of marketing. We want to be making sure that we are capturing leads and gathering client data efficiently and effectively. So growing your list is a really key part of any marketing strategy. We want to have a list of people that we can reach out to when we have things to promote in our business. And the size of your list is directly proportional to the size of your income. If you have an event and you have 100 people in your list and you have a good conversion rate of around 10%, you'd get 10 people showing up on that event. If you can grow that list to 1,000 and maintain that 10% conversion rate, we now have 100 people turning up to that event. So lead capture is really important, and it should be something that you're always focusing on with your marketing strategy. Everything should lead back towards capturing leads. So it's a key process. We need to have a piece of software that will help us capture that information and capture the contact details so that we can then continue to nurture a relationship with them. We also want to use forms and for a form tool for capturing information and data that can help you deliver a more valuable service to your clients and to your leads as well. So getting feedback, feedback requests from your clients, but also forms maybe for inquiries that people are asking on your website, maybe a referral request form, so that this can help you have that consistent approach. You want to be asking your leads and your clients for referrals. It may be that you have an application questionnaire to pre-qualify people before they even get to the stage of booking an appointment with you, to streamline and lower the amount of time that you spend meeting with people who are a waste of your time because they're not right for your business. If you have a form that goes through a bunch of questions, which helps to pre-qualify them, make sure they're right for your business, that can help save you a lot of time. And if you can do that automatically, that's a really useful tool to have. So having forms and lead capture tools are also really, really powerful in our marketing strategy. So next up we have AI-powered content. So that's a lot of what we generally teach in these live streams and in the academy. We teach a lot about using AI to streamline our processes. And the thing that AI, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are really, really powerful at is creating content. So it's writing and idea brainstorming and ideation. Those are some of the real strengths of tools like ChatGPT. So we want to be making sure that we're creating content. I said earlier that we know that referrals and word of mouth is the #1 form of marketing. After that comes content marketing. So this is about putting content out into the atmosphere, into the world, to help with your brand awareness, to get people just generally aware of who you are, but also to help position you as this sense of authority in your chosen area or niche, if you have a niche. It gives you the positioning of being an expert because you can speak on these subjects and you have content speaking about these subjects. So content is really great at helping position you as the authority, which is a really great, people want to work with the expert, they want to work with the best. And when you can position yourself as that expert, it makes you more desirable as an accounting professional. So it also demonstrates your ability to get results for your potential clients. So if, as part of your content, you are showing them solutions to problems that they have, or you're talking about the successes that you've helped your current clients get, that kind of content can demonstrate your ability and your credibility to help them get those results that they desire as well. So that's another thing that content can help do. Now we can create content en masse using AI tools, using tools like ChatGPT. I've showed this many a time in different live streams where you can just go to ChatGPT and say, can you give me a list of 52 different blog post ideas for my niche? And it will create 52 different ideas. It can then write those blogs for you as well. It can help you with things like keywords, titles, and various things as well. And then you can post those and you've got a blog for every single week. So it's really powerful when it comes to content creation. Even if we look outside of blogs, if we look at things like social media content, we can create using this, captions, hashtags. We can ask for advice on different video formats and things like that as well. We can create lead magnets like ebooks, scripts for webinars, podcast scripts, all of these kind of things we can create using AI really quickly and really easily, and with a good level of effectiveness to them as well. So AI tools are really, really, really important. We also want to be aware that with content creation, we don't need to always start from zero. We can create 4 or 5 good long pieces of content, like a webinar, for example. If you did a hour-long webinar where you taught your clients or potential clients the 10 best tax saving strategies in the dental industry, if you worked with dentists, you could do a video or a live stream where you turn your camera on and say, these are the best practices for saving tax in the industry. And then at the end, you can kind of say, if you want help implementing those strategies, then you can book a meeting with us here. So once you've got that webinar with all of those great tax saving strategies, you can break that down into 10 individual videos with the different strategies. You could make a workbook, you could make a podcast episode with that long video. You could split the video down into blog posts. You can break that down into social media posts or little small clips that you can put on Instagram and TikTok and things like that. We can take that piece of content and really maximize the content that we get from it and reuse it and repurpose it. We also want to be reusing that content as well, so that we don't post it once and then forget about it. We post it and we can also continuously post that again throughout the year. So I'm going to talk about scheduling in a second as well, where I'll talk about that again. But content creation can be made a lot quicker, so much quicker when you're using AI. You can give it a couple of ideas and it can neaten things up for you, or it can help you with those ideas, or it can write them all completely from scratch for you and save you probably like a good 90% of the time you would spend writing them by hand. Really powerful tool. You definitely need to be using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini if you're not already. So next up we have graphic design and video editing tools. So we want to be able to create branded graphics, or just, you know, images that are going to be more eye-catching, that help your content stand out, rather than just posting, you know, a paragraph on Facebook. You might like to add an image to go with it, just to grab a bit more attention. So graphics are really important, and also graphic design can help with things like putting things on our website and things on our landing pages. We want to have a tool that can help us create professional looking content for that. It could also be really helpful with designing your brochures and things like that in your business, because in the same way that your website is the packaging for your business, because it demonstrates your quality, your brochures are similar. So we kind of differentiate between marketing and sales, and I'd say when you're going through your brochure with somebody, you're more into the area of sales rather than marketing. But even so, it's still a super valuable tool to have. And video editing, we also want to have some level of tool to use that if you are doing with video content, which you absolutely should be, because in a time of AI, even though I have just said how amazing it is to be able to write 52 blog posts, we are now getting to a stage if you were a very early adopter of ChatGPT, you could absolutely maximize on that and you could get great benefit from that. We're now kind of 3 years on from the introduction of ChatGPT, so a lot more people are catching on to that. And, you know, blog content and written content is becoming less so effective, and video content is where it's really going to excel and stand out. So video content is really going to be important for you. And it shows that you're human. In this age of AI, it can help you stand out by showing that human side. We also work in a relationship-based industry. When you have your clients work with you generally for year-long stints, you know, you have a long relationship with that client. So it can be important to show your personality via video, show your energy and your enthusiasm, and just make it really obvious what kind of person you are, because that can be a big factor in whether somebody chooses to work with you, is whether they like the way that you come across and they like the way that you talk and teach and advise, because that's going to be what you're doing a lot for them if you're doing an advisory kind of service. Okay, so showing your personality is really good. It could also be, depending on your preferable style, it could be a better way to communicate. So on your website, you might have a lot of wording that talks about the services that you offer, and, you know, why you chose to work in your niche, or whatever it might be. There's a lot of information on your website, and some people might not be the kind of people who want to read into depth in all of that. They might kind of skim read it but not really pick a lot up. So if you had a video on your website, it could help communicate those things more effectively by you having a video with either graphics and text on it, you speaking on it, just explaining a bit more about the business, giving them the top things that they need to know, giving them that information. It can just be a better way to communicate effectively as well, as long as you are a pretty decent speaker, which again is something that you should be working on in this day and age. You should be bettering your speaking skills if you can. So video also helps you differentiate yourself, as not many accounting professionals are doing video and using video. So if somebody's scanning through a bunch of different websites, and then they land on and they all are very much the same, and then they land on yours and there's a big video right at the start, which is a video from you, they get a sense of, they start to know who you are and like you and trust you, because they can see who you are and how you speak and who you are. So it can help differentiate you from a lot of different websites as well, which when it comes to marketing, being different and standing out is quite important as well. So the tools we've got listed there. Canva is a really great tool for graphic design, really simple, easy to use. It has got a lot of AI built-in features now as well, which can be super helpful. Adobe Express is one that was suggested here. We've got Descript, which we use in our business, which is great video editing tools for adding captions, cutting videos down into small chunks, adding extra footage into those videos, that kind of stuff. So Descript is a really good tool. And CapCut, I think this is a tool that's really more for social media. So things like Instagram and TikTok, when you're making videos with that phone size video and you want to cut things together and edit, that's a great piece of software as well. So you might just want to have some of these things available. So next we have content scheduling. Now, I mentioned this briefly earlier as well about batching and pre-scheduling your content. So it saves you a lot of time if you can make all of your content at once in one big go. Like maybe you dedicate one day in a 3-month period where you make a lot of content by making a couple of big pieces and repurposing that. And then you pre-schedule all of that content for the next couple of months, which means that you can schedule it and then you don't have to think about it. It's just going out automatically. So we can batch produce that content and pre-schedule it for the next couple of months. What we can also do is a lot of these scheduling tools have a feature where you can add that content to be posted next week, for example. And then you can also at the same time add it to some sort of cycle or library so that in 3 months time or 6 months time, that piece of content will be posted again. So we're reusing that content, recycling it, which just means that you then have the ability to, over time, build that library of content, as long as it is evergreen content, so it's not time specific, as long as it's valuable still a year later, then that content can be reused and recycled throughout that time. Don't be worried about reusing that content and thinking, oh, I need to make something new every single time. Because of those reasons that I mentioned earlier when we talked about social media, sometimes people won't actually engage with your content, so it's okay to post it again. It could be that the algorithms haven't decided to show it to people, or it could be that they scrolled for so long and they didn't actually get to your content. It could be that they looked at it briefly, but they didn't take any kind of action. They didn't engage with it really. They read it, but they then very quickly forgot about it, and maybe they need to see it again in order for them to take any kind of action on it. We know that sometimes people need to see something 5, 6, 7 times before they actually take action on that thing. So reposting it is absolutely fine to do, as long as you're not doing the same post every day kind of thing. If you spread it out enough and you add it to one of these scheduling tools that can help to spread that out, then it takes the burden off of you having to manually post, and it means you can batch all of your content, get it all done in one day, schedule it out, and it's then on and it is going. And you can consistently just add more to that and grow your library of stuff that you can post. So a couple of examples of tools here. We have Buffer, Hootsuite, SocialBee, and Metricool. In our business, we use MeetEdgar as well. So that's another one if you wanted to know more. Next, we have booking and appointment scheduling. So as part of our marketing system, we kind of get to a point where it becomes sales, but let's call this part of marketing. We want to be able to automate the process of clients booking appointments with you. So they need to be able to book directly into your calendar, taking into account your availability. So most of these kind of booking tools will do this. It will look at your calendar, work out when you have gaps, or you will input when your gaps are going to be. They can book directly onto that. So the experience for them is good. It's smooth, it's simple, it's easy. You can then also get tools that automatically send out automated links to the online meeting platform. So let's say you're meeting on Zoom. You can get a lot of these tools that will, once they've booked, it will send them the link to the Zoom immediately. It will also send them email reminders before their meeting. it can also send follow-up emails after their meeting as well. So we can get tools that do all of this for us. And then when we incorporate this into a larger system, like the lead generation system, which I'll talk about, it can just mean that everything happens so smoothly without your needing to have an input in it. So it's automatic and it happens behind the scenes. You don't need to worry about it. So overall, it can give a very smooth and easy experience to the lead that is booking the appointment. Again, demonstrating the quality of your service. If it was really awkward and difficult for them to send, to book an appointment, then that gives an impression of what it's going to be like to work with you. You know, it could be a completely false impression. You could be an absolutely amazing business, but if you've got a really difficult, awkward booking system and they can't get booked on, or they have to email back and forth and it's just awkward and weird, then that can give a negative impression, okay? And we want to make sure that everything is smooth and flowing and easy, because it gives that highly professional feel, and they can assume, well, if it was this easy to book an appointment, it's hopefully going to be just as easy to get onboarded and get set up and work with this person. So it does set that precedent of what your business is going to be like to work with. So some examples of the tools: we have Calendly, Acuity Scheduling, Microsoft Bookings, and there are tons of other ones available. So next up we have integration and workflow automation. So this tool is going to be about connecting your different marketing tools so that they all seamlessly work together, and use automation to pass tasks between them so that you don't have to have that level of input again. So Zapier is a tool that will allow you to connect the majority of your tools together so that you can further automate your processes. So for example, you might have somebody book an appointment in a calendar system. You then want to add them to a specific list in your email tool so that you can then send them the right email automatically. That might be something that you do. The more that you can automate your processes, the more time you save. So you're ending up working smarter, not harder, by having these integrations in place. Your tools can all talk to each other, and you can create such a flow that they all just do everything without you needing to input much at all. And then as that bonus, your leads and clients as well are getting a smoother experience because everything happens automatically. There's no time lag from when they are submitting something to you and then receiving their email a week later when you get round to sending it. You know, it's just that smooth process. And the tool I would generally suggest is Zapier or Zapier. That is kind of the big one, that's the main one, but there's another one here called Make, which was formerly called Integromat, I believe is how you say that. So next up we have tracking and analysis. So again, this is a really important one that often gets overlooked. Monitoring marketing efforts, conversion tracking, and optimizing your campaigns. If you don't know how well your marketing is performing, then you can't improve it. You can't fix any bugs. You can't, you need to make sure that your efforts are going into the right places. If you're kind of spreading out your marketing content, you're putting stuff on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you're doing YouTube videos, and you then look at the tracking and you find out, well, actually, Facebook and Instagram are not getting me anything, whereas LinkedIn is getting me quite a lot of leads, then you want to drill more of your effort into LinkedIn, because that is clearly the platform that is appropriate for your business and it works for you. So you want to make sure that we're tracking things and analyzing it so that we can make tweaks and changes to our systems to ensure that we're maximizing on bringing in those leads and that our marketing is working to the best of its ability. So you need to understand where the bottlenecks are, or the drop-off points, I call these sometimes, by looking at your system. So when I look at a lead generation system in just a second, I will show you where the drop-off points might be. You want to have tools like this. A lot of them are going to be inbuilt in the systems that you're using. So for example, if you are using Facebook ads, your ads tracking system, your ads tracking tool is going to be within Facebook. If you're doing things on YouTube, then the tracking is within YouTube. So a lot of the tools, email marketing, they're built in there, your open rates, your click rates, just how well the subject lines are performing, etc. A lot of it is built into the tools that you are using, but when you are choosing the tools that you're going to make into your tech stack, perhaps that is something that you just take a second to consider. Does it have a good tracking system? Does it have a good analytics system? So that if you are really going to be working hard on getting your email marketing really good, you want to be finding a tool that has got great tracking systems in it, so that you can make sure that you are improving them and testing things and trying lots of different stuff to find out what works best. You should pick a couple of different KPIs to measure and to track, and then check in on those fairly regularly, whether that's once a month or once every 2 months, whatever you want it to be. You want to pick a couple of KPIs and just go and check those every now and then. The KPIs will show you where the bottlenecks are, okay? So I'll talk about that in a second. Once you have your funnel built, the funnel is just what we refer to as the system for bringing clients in. It's normally shaped, as a funnel where lots of people come in at the top. We then nurture them and a few people drop off, and we get them down to a point of conversion, and that's where the smaller end of the funnel is. That's what we call a funnel. There will be different elements of the funnel that work in different ways, and when you have KPIs that track those different areas of the funnel, you can see where the KPI, Daria asks, is a key performance indicator. So it's just a number that you would look at and track. So let's move on to lead generation system, and I'll show you what a KPI might be for that. So lead generation system is an incredibly powerful system that you might have in your business, that you should have in your business, that pretty much incorporates every single variation tool that we have just talked about. So a lead generation system is incredibly powerful. Its purpose is to bring leads into your business, and as we've said, the amount of leads you have is directly proportional to the income of your business. So this is how it breaks down. The first thing you need to do, and you actually build this in reverse, but the way that the lead experiences it is that we drive traffic to a place where we want them to go. So we push them to those places, and that is generally by using content, so our content creation. This is where graphic design and video editing comes in, and content scheduling comes in, because we're creating content to push them towards our lead magnet. So we're pushing them towards that place. That's what we're driving traffic. That's step one. The next step is to have a lead magnet, which is a valuable piece of content that you give away for free in exchange for somebody's name and email address or contact details. So it's still a transaction, but it's free. They just need, the value of that lead magnet needs to be enough that they will give you their email address. And this normally sits on what we call an opt-in page. So that section of the funnel, the lead magnet obviously is content. So we would use our AI-powered content to create that, and perhaps our graphic design. We would then use the website builder, the page builder, to create our opt-in page. And we would use form and lead capture for somebody to land on that page, put their name and email address in. We would use a form to capture that information. And we might use a tool like Zapier to then send that information into our email list system, okay? And that's how that all works. We would then have our email system would come in, our CRM and email marketing would come in to nurture those people. So now that we have them in our list, we're going to continue to deliver value to them by sending them great resources, by introducing yourself a bit more and your business and your mission values, explaining what services you offer. This is where the email marketing comes in, where we're nurturing them. And then finally, we want to push them to a point where they book an appointment and they eventually do sign on with you. And this is where the booking and appointment scheduling part of it comes in. So all of those areas come into this lead generation system. You can track each element of this funnel. So the KPIs that we mentioned earlier, based on the specific ones you choose, you can see which area is the weakest. So we drive traffic. We want to see how many people are clicking on our posts. So this is normally a click-through rate, the CTR, or you might be, if you're doing paid traffic, it's looking at a cost per click. How many people are clicking on your content? That's one of the things that you want to track. If loads of people are clicking on the content of that you're using to push them towards the lead magnet page, but then we also track the next figure, how many people opt in, how many people are landing on that page, but then how many people are opting in. If there is a low number for the opt-in, then we can understand that the content that we're posting to get them to the page is pretty good. It's working. We've got a good click-through rate on that. But obviously something on the page isn't working because people aren't opting in. So maybe the resource isn't valuable enough. Maybe the page isn't designed very well. We can draw a conclusion from that based on the KPIs that we're looking at. If we see lots of people opt in, but we then see that, and we send emails out, but we see that we're tracking how many people open those emails, and we're getting a pretty low number on the amount of emails that are being opened, then we can see that, which is going to, it's going to affect the rest of the down the line. If people aren't opening the emails, then they might not go and book. So if we can see that there's a low open rate, then we maybe need to spend some time looking at our subject lines of our emails. If we are getting loads of people opening the emails, but they're not booking the meeting, then maybe there's something wrong with the meeting. Maybe we need to add some sort of communication about what the meeting is involved, add some value to it somehow just by communicating the value of it better. Based on the numbers that we see coming through this system, we can identify where the bottlenecks are, what's not working, and what we need to fix. So if we're getting a good high conversion rate on our opt-in page, but not a lot of people coming through, so maybe you get like 100 people come through and a good 80% are converting, then we know that the opt-in page works really well, but we're not getting a lot of traffic through, so we need to fix the traffic, right? So based on all of the different numbers, we can work out which areas are working better and which ones need work. So I wanted to quickly now show you just a couple of examples of how you can use ChatGPT to help with these processes. So let me just bring up ChatGPT. So the first thing I've asked here of ChatGPT, and this is just on the free model, the 4.0 model, I've just said really simply, I need to set up my accounting business with the necessary marketing tech stack. Here are the different tools I need. And then I've just listed all those tools that I've just mentioned to you guys. So website and page builder, CRM, email marketing, form and lead capture, AI-powered content creation, graphic design and video editing, content scheduling and automation, booking and appointment scheduling, integration and workflow, and tracking and analysis. I then said, can you suggest the best 3 tools for each area? So here's a list of the best 3 tools. So it's then gone to tell me the 3 that it's found for each one. It will go and do research. 4.0 is connected to the internet, so it will go and do the research and it will bring that information back to you. Website and page builder, we have suggestions, Webflow, WordPress and Elementor or Kajabi. CRM, we have HubSpot, ActiveCampaign or MailChimp. Form and lead capture, we have Typeform, Jotform, Paperform. AI-powered content, we have ChatGPT, Jasper AI and Copy AI. Graphic design, we have Canva, Adobe Express and Descript. Content, we have scheduling even, we have Buffer, Later or Hootsuite. Booking appointments, we have Calendly, Acuity Scheduling or Book Like a Boss. Integration and workflow, we have Zapier, Make or Pabbly Connect. Tracking and analysis, we have Google Analytics, Hotjar or Databox. So it's given us 3 examples for each one. You could then go and do further research yourself, or you can ask ChatGPT to actually give you more information about each of those. Say you like the look of Calendly. You can ask it to give you a pros and cons list, a table, a comparison table of the different sections to see which ones work better, the different tools. So I then asked it, can you find me options for tools that offer holistic services? So, I've just listed about 9 different types of tools that you will need. Now, you don't necessarily have to go and buy and pay for 9 different pieces of software, because often what we can get are pieces of software that will do several of these jobs. Now, sometimes there is a trade-off. If you invest in a tool that does one job, it likely does that one job very well. If you have a tool that does 7 different things, it might not have as many great features and elements to each component because it's doing so much, okay? So you might be trading off those extra useful features just to be able to get everything in one place, but that could be more cost effective. It could be easier and for you in terms of admin to have everything in one place rather than having 7 different tools, okay? So it's all to do with where your confidence is. Do you want to have lots of different tools? What is your budget as well? So the ones it's suggested for me, we have this one here called Go High Level, which I believe is more targeted towards large companies, really big, large companies, but worth checking out. Kartra is an option here, and it tells me what it covers as well. So Kartra has a website and page builder, it has an email marketing, it has forms and lead capture, it has booking and scheduling, and it has automation and tracking. It's telling me the pros. The pros are that it's an all-in-one marketing platform, integrated email and sales funnel. It's got lead capture and a CRM built in. It's got a calendar scheduling system, and video hosting is also included as well. So it suggests that this is best for coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses that need a marketing system. Kajabi is an option here. So we use Kajabi in our business, but our business is mainly video training and online training. So that's why Kajabi works for us. But we know that it has a website feature, it has an email system. You can build individual lead pages on there as well. It's got forms, it's got automation and various different things that works well for us. A large part of it is the video hosting stuff as well. So if that's something that works for you, then check that one out. ClickFunnels is a very popular one. That's got a great interconnectivity between all the different elements as well here. So we've got drag and drop website and funnel builder, built-in CRM and email automation, membership site and course hosting, appointment scheduling, and e-commerce functionality as well. So you can buy things directly from there as well, which is really handy. And then we have HubSpot here as well. So again, we've got email marketing, lead capture and forms, booking and scheduling, integration and workflow, and tracking and analytics. Best for scaling firms looking for advanced CRM and automation. So HubSpot, I know primarily is an email marketing thing. So if that's where you want to put a large part of your efforts, then maybe that's one you look at. We have Zoho. Zoho one has come up as well. Now then what I've then asked it to do is to take those 6, I believe it was, 6 holistic tools that it suggested, and to draft me a comparison table so I can see at a glance which one's going to work better for me. So can you create a tick list comparison table for those holistic tools complete with the included features and the price? Be sure to do your research and only use recent sources. Include all package options and both monthly and annual prices. So what it's done for me is it's created me a tick list table so that at a glance I can see which tools have which features, and then at the bottom of this table I also have an indication of what the prices are going to be as well. I will say you probably do just want to do an extra quick look on the pages to verify, because I've done this on 4.0. It sometimes finds a source within a couple of seconds, and it might find a review website from 2 years ago. Whereas what we really need it to be looking at is the current pricing pages. So what I actually did is I used a new feature which has just recently come to ChatGPT, which is called deep research. Now, as a plus member, so I'm on the $20, well actually I'm on the team plan, I get 10 of these a month. So you need to be very careful with how often you use them. But what this does is, rather than taking 10 or 15 seconds to do its research, it's actually going to go and take 10 to 20 minutes to do its research. And at computer speed, that is a lot of research that it's doing. It's going to look at lots of different websites, lots of different sources. So I essentially asked it the same thing with just a little bit more of a complicated prompt here, but I'm essentially asking the same thing with just a bit more structure. Can you create me that table? Can you do extensive research to do so? Now, before it started doing its research, it immediately asked for some clarifying information. What's your budget range? What's your business size? What's your preferred integration? Are you using QuickBooks, Xero, etc.? And are there any specific platforms you want to use or that you want to avoid? So before it even started using its energy and doing its research, it got that extra information from me. So I gave it a couple of different examples. It then went and did this research. It probably took it about 20 minutes or so. So I went and did something else. I waited, and when I came back, I had this really, really good table, which showed me all of the different features for the different options here. Now, I got a couple of different suggestions here. We got HubSpot, Zoho One, they came out again. But we had Keep, which was previously called Infusionsoft, Thrive, spelled Thryv, and Engage Bay. So it's done a lot more research, and it's found ones that came up different to the one that we did on the free version, right, of ChatGPT. So these ones have come out really well. We've got then listed across the top the different tool types that we've talked about today. So website builder, CRM, form and leads, etc. And then it goes across and says yes, whether it has it, or no, whether it's not, or whether it's limited, for example. So HubSpot here, it says it's got limited graphic design and video. There's no built-in editor, but it does have a Canva integration. So it's giving you just a bit more information about that rather than just saying yes or no, which we got with the tick list on the previous one. Let's find another example. So on Keep here, it says for landing pages for website and page builders, partially yes, because you have a landing page builder but not a full website builder. So I've just got more information with this, and it also tags all of the resources that it's used to find that information there as well. So it's got like 50 something resources because it does a lot of extensive research. I've got a better idea now of which ones I would like to use. It's then also gone on to give me kind of a report on each one. So my pricing overview here, monthly, annual, and trials. To start off just with HubSpot, it's explaining HubSpot offers a free plan with limited features and paid plans on a tiered basis. The starter plan begins at around $15 to $20 a month, which includes up to 1,000 contacts on annual billing. So I'm getting a lot more information than just whatever the other one said, $15 a month. I'm getting the different options here as well. For example, Marketing Hub Starter is $18 a month, paid annually for 1K contacts. Professional plans are substantially higher. So this one really rakes up the price as you go up. So that's something that you probably want to consider. If you know that you're going to be well below 1,000 contacts, then that might be something that you're happy to go with. But if you're increasing your contacts higher and higher, then the price is going to increase with that. Then that's something you want to consider when you do your research. So, but it's done that for me. It's done the pricing overview. I then further down have strengths and weaknesses of each tool as well. So what are the strengths and weaknesses for each of those ones that it's pulled out? And then I believe at the end it's done a summary as well. So it tells you all the references here that it's used as well. You can hover over those and click just to find exactly what it's used. So if anybody has the new feature, the deep research feature on ChatGPT, it's really incredible what it can do. And it's worth giving it a go to help with things like this for your research. Another thing I got ChatGPT to do was, if you are using a new piece of software, you can get it to create a step-by-step guide for you so that you learn how to use that software. So simply I asked here, Can you create a step-by-step guide for how to integrate MailChimp and Kajabi together using Zapier? Maybe that's something I don't know how to do. Now, those are 3 tools that I use, which I picked as the example so that I could verify that it was accurate, and it very much is. So it then just tells me step by step, you need to set up these accounts, you need to create the new Zap in Zapier, you then need to add these tags, etc. And it goes through really detailed how I do that. So that's another great way that ChatGPT comes in helpful, is learning how to use those new pieces of software that you then go and get. So I'm just having a look, and I don't think we have any questions, so I think we're good to wrap it up from there. I hope that's all been really helpful for you guys. It's just a general overview of the kind of tools that you would like to use. You can find those tools that do all in one, or you might get most in one and then have 1 or 2 other tools that help. Zapier is a really key one because it's going to help your tools talk to each other. So even if you've got current tools that you're using and you want to get 1 or 2 other tools, try and find ones that integrate through Zapier, because then you've got that extra element of automation. Okay, so yeah, I hope that's all been good for you. And I hopefully will see you on another live stream coming up soon. Remember that date for your diary, March 25th. We are doing the virtual summit, the AI and ChatGPT for accountants and bookkeepers virtual summit, where we're going to be spending 3 hours showing you how to use ChatGPT for pricing, marketing, business advisory, those kind of things. So if that's if that's interesting, it's a date for your diary. Other than that, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.